Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to focus on shoulders and neck, especially if you have some compression, you have some tension, maybe you sit incorrectly at the computer for a long time, or you bring your head down, or whatever it may be. Maybe you have some vertebrae that are each sides of the neck, the muscles are weak. So we're going to focus on that and different ways to get more mobility into the shoulders and the arms and to get length through the neck. Okay, so first I would ask you to have a bolster for later, a couple blocks, a chair. I have a bench here, which I'll explain to you later, but you could just have a table. Couple blankets, we'll be doing shoulder stand. And then I have the horse here, which is what I'm going to use for a corner wall. So if you have a corner wall in your house, you'll be able to use that, but I don't have a corner here, so I'm going to use the horse, okay?
Before we start our practice, I wanted to let you know about my online programs and workshops. Whether you're new to Iyengar yoga and want to learn the basics in a systematic way, a seasoned practitioner looking to revisit the essentials, or a yoga teacher seeking inspiration. These programs and workshops are self-paced, allowing you to make consistent progress and revisit specific topics whenever you like. You can find the link in the description below. With that said, let's begin our practice today.
All right, so let's stand up. And we'll first go to the wall. So you'll measure your distance. And you're going to take your hand back to the wall. First, just bring your whole body to the wall. So I have my shoulder at the wall. Stand in Tadasana. We'll start on the right side. So turning toward your right side. Bring your feet together. And then take your hand back. And you're going to rotate the shoulder. So you're bringing your hand back. Palm will be facing onto the wall. So feel the shoulder at the wall. Turn the palm. Press the whole palm onto the wall. Keep the other arm moving down, or you could just bring your hand onto your hip and then bring the elbow in close. So it maintains that firmness from both shoulders moving in towards one another. Okay? And then you can have the hips width apart so that you can balance evenly and you can press that shoulder into the wall. When you do that, I want you to bring that shoulder forward, keeping the hand pressed into the wall, thighs back, buttock forward. Press the whole palm into the wall, all the fingers, the wrist, and lengthen the arm all the way down. And just observe what kind of sensations you have. So if the shoulder is moving back, slide the hand forward until that shoulder at the wall comes forward and you're facing the wall in front of you. Breathe into whatever you can feel in the front of that shoulder. Broaden through the collarbones. Draw the elbow back. And then release. Okay, we'll do the other side. So we're going to do both sides, and then we're going to attempt to bring the arm a little bit higher. So depending on what kind of stiffness you have in your shoulder, take your hand back, palm facing the wall. Come in close to the wall. Have your feet hip distance apart so you can press into that outer foot to keep the shoulder at the wall. And then extend the hand back, press into all the fingers, and then move that shoulder blade toward the chest. So you're widening through the collarbone, your shoulder is at the wall, and you're feeling, with the shoulder at the wall, feeling a stretch from the wall to the center of the chest. Extend through the fingers, thighs back, lift the chest. Observe what you feel in the fingers, in the wrist, in the upper arm. And then release. Okay, coming back to that first side, bring your arm behind you and see can you take the arm a little bit higher. If I take the arm higher, what happens to the shoulder? So I still want the shoulder to move down and to move forward. So hand on the hip. Pressurize the feet, keep the legs firm, and then walk the hand back and bring the arm up. If you find that it's difficult to keep that shoulder at the wall and difficult to move that, so be with whatever sensation you feel, drawing this arm back. Press all the fingers, press the palm, lengthen from the inner arm to the wrist. And then release. So it might be quite strong sensation depending on what kind of tension you have. With your breath, be with what you feel and don't do too much. Just use the breath, use that extension. So turning to the other side, walk the hand back, bring the arm up, any amount you can. Keep the shoulder descending, shoulder blade moving forward, thighs moving back. So you can see my hand's not too high up. I'm not bringing the arm all the way to here. You can bring the arm up, but if the shoulder lifts, then, and you don't have control there, or you have some more tension, it's creating more tension. So you want to drop the tops of the shoulders, keep the head lifted, keep pressing into the hand, inner arm lengthening, and then release. Okay, now we're going to stand a little bit away from the wall. You're going to bring your fingers back and have the whole hand pressing into the wall. So standing, hand on your hip, bring your hand up, drop the shoulder, and then start to turn the chest toward the front wall. So if this shoulder connected to this hand at the wall is turning back, press into the heel of the hand, press into the fingers, turn. Press the hand to wherever you feel that sensation in the fingers and lengthen. Lengthen through the upper arm to the elbow, from the elbow to the armpit chest. And then release. Now turn the fingers. So you're getting that rotation, that turning of the arm, the dropping of the shoulder. You're going to maintain that turning, and then with the hands glued onto the wall, you're going to turn the fingers up and then continue to lift the lower elbow up. So you're still getting that rotation at the top of the arm, top of the shoulders moving down, shoulder blades moving down and forward. Now lift the elbow up, press into the heel of the hand, into the fingers, feeling that lift there to get that rotation to connect with the shoulder girdle. And then release. Starting again, side to the wall. Measure your distance, bring your arm out, spread the fingers. If it's too difficult to bring the hand up, if the shoulder starts hiking up, then bring the hand down. Spread the palm, press into the hand, into the fingers, straighten the arm, and just be aware of the weight on your feet. So standing evenly, thighs back, top of the buttocks descending. Now straighten that arm. Press. So feeling that rotation of the upper arm, shoulder moving down, shoulder blade moving forward. And then we're going to turn the arm. So not turn the arm, but turn the hand to face up, fingers facing up. Keep that rotation. So you probably lost that rotation a little bit. Press the hand, and now lift the elbow up. And as you lift the elbow up, feel that arm still rotating from the inner arm to the outer arm. Feel the corners of the hand, press into the hand, stretch through the fingers, and just observe what you feel there. Front ribs out. So you could see I was popping my front ribs out. So bring the front ribs back and release. Okay, so you could feel that maybe some nerve endings, some into the fingers, into the hand, into the shoulders. So just be aware of that. That's starting to open you up. So there's a circular action here, lifting the armpit chest in the front and from the back, moving down. So when we brought the arms out like that, shoulders moving down, back of the head is lifting up. Okay, let's just take our hands, interlace the fingers, keep your feet hips width apart, and then come in Parvottanasana. Stretch the arms up. Connect with the feet, so left and the right foot, the front of the foot, the back of the foot, thighs moving back, hips moving forward, pelvis moving forward. Reach the arms up. And then come down. Change the cross on the fingers. Pressing out through the palms of the hand. Broad through the hand. Lift the arms up. Reach up. So the shoulders are moving down. Elbows are moving towards one another. Press the palms up. Drop the shoulders. Lift the back of the head and look up. Press the palms. Thighs back, buttock forward, lengthen the lower back. And then bring the head back, bring your arms down. Okay, now we're going to go to the wall again. And first, you'll just bring your hands to the wall. Press the fingers, have your hands shoulder width apart, and then walk your feet back, walk your thighs back, and move the top of the shoulders away. Use the thighs, moving the thighs back, extend the arms. So getting a nice openness through this outer armpit chest. Press the hands. And then we're going to move forward. Walk the hands up, so come a little bit closer. Extend the arms up. Thighs back, lower back lifting, reach your arms up, shoulders moving down, looking directly at the wall, shoulder blades moving toward the armpit, thighs moving back, lower back lifting. And then come back. Let's take a couple blocks. Take your blocks, hold on to the blocks. Now these are teak blocks, so they're quite heavy. If you have a heavy block, have the heel of the hand there so it doesn't drop on you. Toes facing the wall. Walk in as close as you can and reach the arms up. Drop the shoulders, keep the arms lifted, thighs back, pelvis toward the wall. Tailbone in. So you're not lifting your shoulders, but you're descending the shoulders. We're connecting the arms down into the shoulders. And then bring the arms down. All right, now you're going to take your blocks to the mat, okay? So if you had ropes, you could come into the ropes. I'm not going to show with ropes because I know many of you don't have ropes, but you would bring the ropes onto your thighs. So here, we're just going to use the wall. You take your blocks on medium height. So that's the lowest height, this is medium, and this is high. Now, you can take the blocks on the higher height as well, but it's not as stable when you don't have the ropes. So we'll take them onto the median. You're going to take your hands onto the top of the block, have the heel of the hand there, so you don't slide off, and then bring your heels to the wall. You can have the heels at the wall, touching the wall, or up the wall. So depending on what kind of tension you have in your neck, your shoulders, create some space for yourself, press into the block, lift up, lift from the hands up through the outer arms to the shoulders, lift the side trunk, and move the thighs back. So the openness through the armpit is coming, armpits facing the floor. Keep your head between the two arms, thighs back. Okay. Now we're going to turn the blocks on the lower height and take the hands and turn the palms out, okay? So reach the fingers over the end of the block. Have the heel of the hand there so you don't slip off. If you think you're going to slip, you can take your mat onto the block. Okay, so you're getting that rotation that we had at the wall, inner arm turning, shoulder turning. So press down into the block, don't push. So you have to press down and lift up at the same time. Get that turning of the arm that you had earlier at the wall. And still, descend the shoulders. So the shoulders are moving away from the back of the neck, up toward the hips. Let's turn the hand out completely. So I was sliding a little bit, so I'm going to bring the blocks in. So I get that rotation. With a little bit less angle. So turning the arms, move the chest back. Keep the heels pressing back, thighs moving back. And then release. Okay, take your blocks away. Come back into downward dog, hands facing forward. Lifting up. Press into the index finger, in the thumb. Lift the forearm up. Firm the elbows. Keep the elbows nice and firm, tight, bringing the elbow into the socket. And then lift up through the inner elbow, outer elbow, lengthening up. Now, if you have tightness in the head, the neck is sore, you can bring your head onto a block. Lift the shoulders up and away. And then come down. We'll turn the hands out now. So when you turn the hands out, the arms are coming a little bit closer. So you're not wide like that, shoulder width, but the inner arm is in line with the inner shoulder. Come onto the toes. Press down into the heel of the hand, the thumb side. Lift up through the arms, and just allow the arms to rotate out like we had at the wall. Bring your heels down the wall any amount. Move the thigh back. Release the head down. Keep the inner elbow lifting up like we did at the wall. Press from the hand, lift to the elbow, elbow up to the shoulder. And then release. And then just bring the blocks forward. Reach the hands forward. Take the knees apart. Press into the feet. And extend the arms. Looking down at the floor. So keep the neck long so the head goes between the two arms. If you can bring the head onto the floor, bring the head onto the floor. If not, and you're getting strained, then bring either a blanket or another block and rest your head there. Draw your hips back, lengthen through the outer arm. Pressing into the fingers, into the thumb. And then come up. Next, you're going to get a chair, and I want you to have the chair at the wall so it has some stability. You're going to bring the chair. You could also bring a bench. So I have a bench here. You could use this bench. I'll show both ways. Here, the chair seat is at the wall. And if you wanted to have a little bit of extra cushioning, you can have another mat and have it there on the chair. So what I'm going to do is I will first, I'm going to find my distance here. I'm going to bring my chin here because I want to lengthen the back of my head and move the shoulders away. So first I'll take the hands on the chair and I'm basically hooking my chin. So in order to do that, you don't want to get compression here. So you want the shoulders to be moving away. So I'm using my hands, moving the shoulders down, shoulders forward, shoulder blades forward, and then hooking my chin, looking forward. Keep the hips moving back, inner thighs rolling back, and then release. So I'll just show you on this bench now. So I have this dowel also. If you have something like this, or even a broomstick, you could take that behind. So you're getting the movement of the shoulder blades moving down. So you're kind of ironing that down. And the front armpit chest is lifting, back armpit chest is descending. Okay? So you can come back onto that chair, or you could have something, a high stool. Okay, so I'm in front of the stool. I've built up the stool a little bit because it's a little low. So if you had a kitchen table, you have a few blankets or some pads, or even the back of a couch, whatever it may be, find that spot. Walk your feet a little bit away so that you can get the length through your trunk. I've got this dowel here, so it helps to bring the shoulder blades in, but also to lift the shoulders up. And with my chin hooked on the front, I'm moving the shoulders away, moving the thighs away. And I can feel the shoulder blades and the back ribs moving in. So if you don't have that, you could bring your hands here. You can take your hands here, so you're controlling a little bit more. And then if you can, take your hands on your thighs. Move your chest away, move the shoulders down and away, and keep the back of the neck lengthening. All right, and then come down. Okay, so that's various ways you can do it on the chair. You can have this. You can also have it on the horse. Okay, so now I'm going to move this out of the way and take my chair out of the way. I've set up here at the horse. You don't need to have a horse, but you need to have a wall. So there's a corner. So I will be in front of this, and then I'll be lengthening the neck around that. So I have this. I don't have a corner wall, but I'm sure you have a corner there. Okay, so we're going with the right leg. We're going to do Ardha Chandrasana. So you'll hold on to this, or have just a block for you to go into this. So I have this piece of furniture so I can use it. For you, you'll bring your weight onto that front foot, bring that back foot in, and then be near the edge. So I'm going to wrap my head back. I can feel the shoulder at the wall. And I'm going to do a little bit of back bend with the neck. So the neck is lengthening, the back of the head is moving away, and opening through the front chest. And then just see that your hip is over your heel. Lean back. So adjust so that the hip is over the heel. I can feel my hip there at the horse. Taking the hand down onto the block, press down, turn the chest, and bring the head back. And then if you feel balanced, you can bring your arm up. But as I hold on to this, then I can bring the shoulder blades in and move them down toward the hips and create that rounded neck. And then come down. So I'm going to move this back a little bit. Okay, so coming to the other side, you step forward, lift the leg. So you want to have the heel and the hip lined up. So my head is at the wall. Now I'm going to bring the head back. So I'm doing a little bit of a back arch. Stand tall on that standing leg, press down, lift up through the hip, and then look back. Shoulder blades and the tops of the shoulders I can feel, and I'm moving them away from the neck and down, or down and toward the chest. And then bring your arm up. You can keep the hand here. You can keep the arm lengthening along the hip. And then coming down carefully. Step back. Okay, now have your 2 blocks. You're going to come to, you can either have your legs at the wall. So I'm using this as a wall. Coming down. Prasarita Padottanasana. So press evenly into the feet. Have the hands on the blocks underneath the shoulders and move the shoulders away. So the back of the neck is lengthening, and get that little curve like you did around the corner wall. You can take the hands off the blocks or continue to use the blocks. Turn the hands. So if you use the blocks, you can turn the hands out. So again, you're getting that rotation. So the whole top of the shoulder is moving down, shoulder blades moving down. Firm the elbows, lengthen the chest forward. And then, if you don't need the blocks, do one last time. Fingers straight ahead, bend the elbows, and you can take your head on a block so you're on the crown of the head. If you can go down a little bit further, keep pressing the hands, lift up through the arms, the shoulders, and bring the crown of the head down. So here you're lengthening. This is lifting up. As you press the hands, lift the shoulders up. So always making space in the neck, using the hands, the arms to get that lift of the shoulders. Coming up, you can walk your hands out, bring your toes in and your heels. If you're close to a wall, just be careful how you come out. Okay, we're going to get the chair now. So you have your chair. Take one of your blocks, and we'll sit to the right side. Bring your feet forward, thighs parallel. You can take that block between the legs. Just be even on the sitting bones. And then you're going to take your hands back. So from here, dropping the shoulders, tops of the shoulders moving down. Use the hands. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, descend. So at the same time, you're dropping the hips. Keep the hips grounded. Lengthen up through both sides of the trunk, using the arms to direct you. And at the same time, lifting from the back of the head, the occipital bones, away from the tops of the shoulders, crown of the head facing up toward the ceiling. So using the arm for direction, bend the elbows, feet pressing down, thighs holding that block. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn. So you're turning here from the waist, lift the lower back up. Take a few breaths, and then again, start to turn. Feel the connection from the elbows to the shoulders, connecting back into that shoulder girdle, shoulder blades, upper back widening and broadening, and turn. And release. And then coming to the other side, switch over. Bring your hands back. So now you're turning to the left side, feet on the floor. You can bring the feet together if you can manage that. Descend your hips, so the outer hip especially is moving down. Front leg is slightly moving forward because as you turn, this hip wants to come forward. So move this hip toward the knee. Inhale, lift up. Lengthen the lower back. Exhale, turn. Using the hands on the chair to give you direction. That shoulder that's furthest away, you want to bring that toward the back of the chair. shoulder that's closer, use that back hand to press that shoulder away. So you're starting to turn. Shoulders are down. So let the shoulders drop down into the elbows. Lift the front chest. And exhale, release. Okay. We're not staying very long in these, so you can come back to these. But I just want to make sure that you see everything. Okay, so the chair is on the mat, and you'll measure your distance. You want to be about 1 arm's length away. So that's a little close. So this right foot is going to be under the chair a bit. Left leg is here, walking in. So I want a little bit of space. I'm going to be taking 1 arm back. Okay, and hold onto the rail. Keep both hips dropping. Keep the lower back lifting up. And then bring your hand back to the wall like we did earlier. So press the hand at the wall. Roll that arm, that shoulder. And then from there, turn toward the chair rail. Keep both hips, outer hips, moving towards one another. Turn the chest. Keep the shoulders moving down. Keep this arm working with the shoulder so it's drawing down and not lifting up. Like we did earlier when we lifted that elbow. Lift the elbow, let the shoulder roll down. Turn. And then release. So bring the chair to the other side. Step in, so the foot is a little bit underneath that chair seat. Stand tall in this leg, so you're lifting up. Same time, this hip is moving down. Outer hips moving towards one another. And then bring your arm over. You can press the leg and the arm against one another. That will give you a little bit of leverage to be able to turn this upper back and shoulder. Take the hand to the wall. Take it in line with your shoulder. So you're going to want to turn like that. So you want to keep this outer thigh parallel. You're using the arm there to maintain that lateral position, inhale, or horizontal position. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn. Press the hand at the wall. Keep pressing into the index finger, the thumb, the heel of the hand. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Now lift the elbow up, lift the inner elbow up, and move the shoulder down. This hand on the rail is helping you to pull up and turn toward the wall. And then release. Utthita Marichyasana, another version of it. Okay, just bring your chair back to the wall, and then I'm going to show you one thing. You can, if you have a higher raised surface, you can use that. I'm bringing a mat there. You could also use your bed. You can have a blanket, and we're going to move the shoulders onto the platform and then let the neck lengthen, okay? So you can have a blanket as well, and you can roll that blanket so you have a little bit of a spacer for the neck. But here I'm coming down, shoulders moving down, shoulder blades moving down, and then starting with the feet on the mat, bending the knees, tilting the pelvis so the lower back is lengthened, bringing my hands back, interlacing the fingers, and I have my thumbs at the occipital bone. So I'm drawing the head away. As I have my shoulders fixed, I'm creating some length in the neck. Okay, so that's one way that you can do that. Keep the ribs moving down, so not doing a back bend, but keep the back on the floor, and with the shoulders on the floor, lengthen the neck. Okay, so you can also have a little bit of space for the neck via a blanket, giving you a little bit of roll there so that you can lift the chin more. Keep the shoulders moving down. So don't adjust the shoulders. Use the feet on the floor. Press so that the shoulders and shoulder blades are moving down. And then you can take your, depending on how your neck is feeling, if you want to have a little bit more release, then you take your thumbs, lift the chin up. If that's too much, then just bring your arms to the side. You can bring your hands just on the edge. Turn the arms, move the shoulders down, press the palms down. Keep the knees bent. So if you have tension in your neck and your shoulders, then keep your knees bent. If there's not so much tension or you've released it already, you can stretch your legs out, thighs moving down. But for the beginning, start with your knees bent. That way you can continue to tuck the pelvis, move the abdomen down, and keep the chest lifted. Armpit chest is lifting, back armpit chest is descending. Okay, so this is a nice release. You can do this off the end of your bed. Okay, to come out, you're going to roll to your side, let your head release, and press yourself up with one hand. All right, now we're going to get a chair. Have your mat. Take your mat on the chair seat. Okay, I have the chair. I have a folded mat, folded in half and a half again, so it fits nicely on the chair seat. And I'm coming away from the wall. I have some blocks at the wall. Depending on your practice, you may need the blocks, you may not, but most probably if you have stiffness in your neck, you're going to need a little bit extra height. So you're going to come in and bring your hips to the back edge of the chair. I have a bolster and a couple blankets here because I want the neck to lengthen. All right, so you're coming into the chair and then move your hips toward the wall. So I want the top of the buttocks to hook on that mat and then come down. And then you're kind of curling over the chair seat. So the front armpit chest is lifting, the shoulders are moving down, and you're then going to straighten your legs. So I'm a little bit too close to the wall. You can either continue to stay like this with just your hands on the chair and get that space in the neck. If you can go a little bit further, you'll take your bolster away, make a little bit more space for the legs, come back in, toes above the blocks, hook the upper back, take the hands underneath, and straighten the legs. So here, the back of the head, just let be on the back of the head, not the crown of the head, the back of the head, so that you're getting that extension through the neck. And then because you're on the mat, it's providing some traction for you, for your shoulders. Now this feels a little bit too high for me, so I brought both blankets so that you could see. I don't need both blankets. I might not even need this blanket, but the idea is you find the distance so that you're getting that length to the neck. You're not jamming the neck. So I'll take my hands underneath again, and I'm getting that rotation of the arms, the shoulders, like we started out with the hands at the wall, turning, broadening through the chest. Keep the legs firm, pressing into the wall, thighs moving down. Take a few breaths there. You can even bend the elbows, bring the hands back, depending on your chair, depending on how much space you have. There's many ways you can do it. If your shoulders are too tight, and due to your broadness, you can't reach your arms underneath, then just hold onto the side or bring your hands down. So you're still getting that lift of the armpit chest, like when we had the dowel there. So the shoulders are moving away, always watching that you don't have too much. So if you start to open up, the chest starts to lift more, you can remove that blanket. Okay, we're going to come up. First, you take your hands out from underneath the chair. You'll hold onto the chair and then bring both feet back onto the floor. Now you're a little bit far out of the chair. Maybe your feet are not even on the floor like mine. So I'm going to move myself into the chair more, bring the feet onto the floor, and then I'm going to pull with my arms and I'm going to lift up, come up. If you need to help yourself up, take one hand and press yourself up. Okay, and then just bring your arms onto the back of the chair. Lengthen up through both sides of the trunk. Keep the shoulders moving down and keep the back of the head in line with the upper back, that dorsal spine. All right, we're going to do one more. So you're going to come out of the chair and we'll set up for shoulder stand. Actually, we'll set up for Niralamba. So you're going to have platform. I'm using, for my height, instead of only blankets, I like to take a little bit of a platform. These are foam. And then I will take one blanket over the top. And then take a second blanket. Okay, so that the shoulders will be here, the head will be on the floor, and then this time I'm going to bring my feet over onto the wall. So I'm taking the mat back, so I have a little bit of traction underneath the shoulders, and I want to have a belt. So get your belt, have your belt ready. We're going to bring the belt around the wrist. You can have your bolster. Place your bolster. So because I have this second sticky mat, I can put it down and then put the bolster there. So you're going to lift your legs up and over. So take your strap and you'll be bringing the strap onto your wrists. You're going to extend the arms behind you. So in order to extend your arms behind you, you're going to once we go down, you're going to externally rotate the arms, and then you'll bring your hands into that strap, press out into the strap, and rotate. So you're, again, getting that rotation from the shoulder blades moving in. You can take the hands even closer. So depending on your body and what you're capable of, you're pressing the arms down, and we're going to press the arms into the bolster. So we're turning the bolster this way. Okay? So coming down, if you need that bolster to go up on, bring the bolster closer. So the bolster is about the same height as the blankets. Move your hips onto the bolster. And then just measure your distance. So your shoulders are about one thumb's length away. The back of the head is on the floor. Take your strap, have it in your right hand, and then bring your feet onto the bolster and lift your legs up. Now get that rotation on the shoulders. Press the hands into the strap and lift up. So the outer shoulders are moving down. So making sure to get that rotation of the shoulders. If you don't feel right, then come down and again adjust. Lift the heels up. Lift the lower back to the middle back. Press the hands into that strap and bring the back body toward the front body. Just be there. You can bend your knees also, but then you have a little bit of sinking in your neck. So you'll probably feel that. So I want you to keep the legs lifting up so that the shoulders are moving down, neck is lengthening, you're lifting up, buttocks lifting up towards your heels, lift your hips. All right, we'll come down. Take your hands out of the strap and then bend your knees. Let your shoulders round a bit. Bring your knees down towards your chest. Turn your toes. And then take your hands back and gently roll yourself down. So there's not much room at the wall. But if you can bring your head down, your shoulders down, then come down, straighten the legs. So now you're in Sechabandha, thighs moving down. Still the neck is lengthening, shoulders are moving away. You can bring your arms out. Take a few breaths there. And then bend your knees. And you'll roll onto your right side. Roll over. Press yourself up. And then take your bolster away, take your mat away. So you're going to come down onto the mat, have a blanket for your head. Depending on the thickness of your blankets, you can have a little bit thicker blanket if the shoulders are tight. Have the blankets toward the end of your mat. Coming down, let's take all of your props just to one side. Knees are bent. Blankets supporting the neck. So I took 2 blankets, so you can take one of those blankets and roll it and have it right at the neck, which is very supportive. So it helps to create that space, to maintain that space you've been getting, and then you're going to extend your legs down. So I'm not touching the wall, but I'm extending the legs fully, rolling the legs out. So I'm not moving the legs toward the wall. I press into the heels, keep that connection with the legs, connection right on the center of the buttocks, and then release my arms. So if I just stretch my legs out, then I come off of this position with the shoulders. So I want you to maintain that lift of the armpit chest, back armpit moving down, neck supported. Feel that the back of the head is completely releasing, and release the arms. Release the legs. And then just be in here in Shavasana. I'll set a timer for you. You can stay as long as you'd like. Feel that support at the neck. Feel how, with that length of the neck, your throat is softened. Chin is moving slightly down towards your chest. And there's a slant from the forehead down to the chin. So aware of the eyes, soften the eyes. Soften the inner mouth, the tongue, the jaw, and soften the throat. Just be there. Let your breath lengthen, your exhalation, letting go. Namaste.